In essence, this question is asking, why do females have smaller appetites than males? There's actually a few fairly distinct reasons for this. One might think that women have smaller stomachs than their male counterparts. However, when tested using a balloon to see how far the stomach could stretch, men and women had similar, if not identical, gastric, meaning stomach, volumes. However, despite the similar size, a woman's stomach on average is more sensitive and they can perceive and tolerate smaller gastric loads, meaning they may perceive more stretching and discomfort from the same amount of food. And this stomach stretching is one of, if not the most important signals to produce a feeling of fullness and cause one to stop eating at a given meal. With that being said, many females find that they are simply just less hungry all throughout the day compared to their male counterparts. And this may actually have something to do with where they store fat on their body. Females store much more subcutaneous fat and males store much more visceral fat. And luckily for my female audience, this subcutaneous fat is thought to be safer and less damaging than the deeper visceral fat that men store. Females also predominantly store their fat in their lower extremities, whereas men store more of their fat in their abdominal region. The reason this is important is due to two main hormones. The first one is leptin. One's production of leptin is associated with their subcutaneous fat, but not their visceral fat. This is because the subcutaneous fat secretes leptin, whereas the visceral fat does not. Leptin has a powerful role to suppress our appetite. Therefore, because women typically have higher subcutaneous body fats, they typically produce more leptin and are more satiated throughout the day. The second compound is adiponectin, which is actually associated with the fat specifically on the lower extremities, and also has an inhibitory effect on food intake. And when studies, females typically produce more adiponectin, as well as more leptin. Therefore, on average, are typically more satiated than their male counterparts. The last thing that I want to mention is that most of these differences in fat storage are driven by the concentrations of estrogens and androgens inside of women, as estrogen is associated with higher concentrations of subcutaneous fat, particularly in the lower extremities, and men simply appear to uptake more of their dietary fat within their visceral fat storages compared to females. However, after menopause, women have sharp declines in their estrogen levels, which does appear to correlate with an increased appetite. This is not a good nor bad thing, but it's something to keep in mind for managing body weight and appetite during one's pre, peri, and post-menopausal years. With that being said, if you would like an individualized approach to your nutrition and lifestyle to optimize your health, energy, and body composition, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.